All right, so real quickly here, I just want to get into some of the common mistakes that affiliate marketers make. And there's three that really pop out and seem to be sort of common denominators with a lot of what people do. And committing some of these most common mistakes will cost marketers a large portion taken from the profit they're making every day. So let's talk about mistake number one, and that is choosing the wrong affiliate program. Many people want to earn from affiliate marketing as fast as possible, but in the rush to be part of what's hot, they tend to pick a bandwagon product. So these are the kind of products that people think are hot at that moment. They choose the product, it's in demand, without actually considering if the product appeals to them. So this is not a wise move. So instead of jumping on the bandwagon, try to choose a product in which you're truly interested in. Do the research about it, see if it's in demand, promote the product, but don't do it in a way because everyone else is. Make sure that you are passionate about it. It'll be easier to promote a product if you're passionate about it. Okay, number two, joining too many affiliate programs. Yes, following the shiny lights, a lot of people do. But since affiliate marketing programs are easy to join, you'll be tempted to join multiple affiliate programs to try and maximize the earnings you'll be getting. So don't think of it that way. Besides, you may think that there is nothing wrong or nothing to lose by being part of many programs. True, it's a great way to have multiple sources of income, but in the beginning, joining multiple programs and attempting to promote them all at the same time will just prevent you from concentrating on one. So the result, well, the maximum potential of your affiliate program is not realized, and the income generated will not exactly be as huge as you were thinking or initially it would be. The best way to get results is to join one program to start with, get good at it, and then move on to the next. Give it your best effort. The technique may be slowly at first, but with anything else comes time and patience and work on it. So there's really no need to rush things, especially with this and with the way things are going. So the future could be looking a lot brighter if you focus more on one thing at a time. And number three, well, testing different things. This is important because you can never underestimate the power of a campaign. You always have to see what will work best. The best way to test a campaign is to change the elements. So if you've got a landing page and it seems to be going nowhere, try changing the wording in the headline, change the image, switch up the call to action, testing the campaigns with each other. They call this split testing or A and B testing. It's like fishing. So if you don't have the right bait, you can't catch the right fish, right? Overall, by testing, it doesn't convert. If it doesn't convert by testing this, then it's not worth investing the time at all. So these are three main mistakes that I notice on a daily basis. So hopefully that will help you out in not making those same mistakes. All right, so right now we're going to talk about a very fascinating part of the business that some marketers really kind of miss the boat with. So we're going to talk about influence, persuasion, Life Force 8, and magnetic marketing. So first of all, we're being influenced every day, whether we realize it or not, right? I mean, our decisions to buy are influenced by sometimes simple factors. So think about it when you go to the grocery store. You are directed for reasons you don't even realize based on placement of product. It's the size of the aisle. That may even slow you down. So while you're in the pastry section of the grocery store, you'll notice all the goodies you're surrounded by, and you may actually buy something. Why do I bring this up? Because when we're talking in terms of the aisles or aisleway, or an area that may be wide, you're being influenced to take a moment and look at things, pick things up, put them in your cart. When you get to the checkout section, it can be quite cramped up. You are surrounded by everything from gum to magazines to sometimes chicken. Yes, I've even seen rotisserie chicken ready to buy right at the register. This deals with the customer in that make that impulsive decision on what to buy because the opportunity is in front of them. So if you have a long line, you might start thinking, hey, I want to buy this magazine. Or hey, that chicken would be a quick, great part of dinner tonight. Interestingly enough, There are other ways to influence, such as repeating things back. If you were a waiter or waitress, just by repeating things back with the order, studies show the tip rate was higher. It's amazing how just repeating something back to someone the way they said it can increase tipping. If a person is negative, a way to influence them is to present the bad news about the product or offer or company first. Let me tell you what you may not like about this company or this product. You see, in their mind, they're thinking, at least they're being honest with me. The opposite applies to a positive person because they're motivated to buy. Present the benefits or the good news about the product because you don't need to present anything negative. So here's another way we become influenced in decision making. When presented with options, it can be difficult to choose when you have only two. So let's say you've got two subs. They both seem pretty similar. They both have the same items on them. You may want to make a case that one has maybe better quality meat than the other, or maybe a better cheese. So what do? You add a third option. There is power in the number 3. By providing an extra option to someone, that could be the one thing that helps them make that decision. You see, when you present a third option to a customer, in order to avoid what might be a risky decision, they'll opt for the third option. So studies show that the one they usually pick is the one in the middle. Fast food places use this technique with people who order all the time. They'll give you 3 options, but guess which one they'll pick most? Yep, the one in the middle. So give your customer 3 options, and by doing this, you will increase your conversion rate as well. Now, persuasion is helping the client make up their minds about something, but you're doing it in a way where you're making it up for them. Persuasion plays into effect with affiliate marketing. It's not just the message, but what you say immediately before the message. This is what will ultimately give you leverage for your success. You can get the job even before the job interview is done based on the right words. A great communicator can reroute our attention to something that isn't that important because it makes it seem important. And in return, will make you subconsciously pay attention to it. Persuasive cues can get people to open up where they normally wouldn't. Nobody recognizes this because we are dealing with the subconscious mind. So imagine I show you a website for a shoe store, and in the one picture you see money, signifying how much you'll save, but on the contrary, for the shoe store, the other site, you'll see someone walking on clouds with shoes. Which do you think someone would be more attracted to? If you said the one where somebody was walking in the clouds with the shoes, you'd be correct. Now, imagine here's 3 persuasive techniques that you can use right now. Number 1, storytelling. Telling a story is something your audience can relate to. It will allow the reader to connect with something maybe they feel on a personal level. But because everyone loves a good story, the angle is about drawing them in. They may subconsciously say, hey, that sounds like me. So the persuasive message using the technique of storytelling is really telling them you're not alone. Number 2, science. Using trusted real-life evidence like science, case studies, or stats will help build authority around expanding your audience's beliefs. It will build a strong foundation around your topic. So if your audience doesn't believe in the benefits of yoga right off the bat, but they read the stats in a reputable magazine like Time about the real science behind it and the benefits, this proves the possibility of the benefits using science. Supposition, number 3, removing the mental construct of time and speak to them as if they are already where they want to be. You are speaking to the higher self. Remove any preconceived notion of the time. So whether in the present or past, the results are happening right now and you're on your way to victory. You can even see the word suppose in there. So those are just 3 persuasive techniques that you can use right now. Quickly, I want to mention about selling and using the Life Force 8. So if you haven't heard of Life Force 8, it basically has to do with consumer psychology. It's used all the time to get people to buy things. Even something as simple as a PS in a letter draws our attention. You're basically saying, hey, one more thing before you go. Use it to reinstate your offer. If you're wondering why an advertiser might do so badly, it's because they don't know any better. They may have been taught a certain way, and it just may be counterproductive. So by knowing these things, you're going to have a lot more leverage. So people buy for different reasons. For example, my wife was watching QVC one day, and they were selling video cameras for homes. Well, no sooner than they mention that a house gets broken into every 6 seconds in the US, she said, we've got to get those cameras. What they did was they worked on the idea of fear. She had fear. She said, we need these cameras. That doesn't mean that people aren't still going to break into houses. So you can see we're all hardwired the same way. And those feelings and those emotions that we're acting upon, we can't help, right? So, but there's a list here I'm going to give you of 8 desires that once learned can create profit from any area of affiliate marketing. So LifeForce 8, or LF8 for short, are 8 powerful desires. They're responsible for more sales than all other human wants combined. The first one is survival, enjoyment of life, life extension. Number 2, enjoyment of food and beverages. Number 3, freedom of fear, pain, and danger. Number 4, sexual companionship. Number 5, comfortable living conditions. Number 6, to be superior, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. Number 7, care and protection of loved ones. 8, social approval. So the next campaign you put together, think about how many of these you're using. Keep in mind you can use more than one life force. These desires are biologically programmed in each one of us. So think about the angle when using these life forces. The angle is the content and the approach of how you will use the life forces. Remember, to internalize them and make them part of your sales pitch. People don't want to be sold to. They want to know why they need it. All right, so here's a little fun example of using the Life Force 8 in terms of a weight loss pill. Keep in mind, aesthetically, I don't have it written very nicely on here, but you'll get the main idea. Again, we're dealing with 8 of these. So number 1 being survival, enjoyment of life, life extension. So in this case here with number 1, we're going to say, hey, by taking this pill, you're going to live longer. Okay, number 2, enjoyment of food and beverages. In this case here, number 2, we're going to say, hey, you take this pill, your food's going to taste better. Number 3, freedom of fear, pain, and danger. Well, in this case here, number 3, we're going to say, hey, you will prevent future heart attacks by taking this pill. Number 4, sexual companionship. Number 4, in this case, we're going to say, listen, you're going to be more attracted to others. Maybe you'll pick up more dates based on taking this pill. Number 5, comfortable living conditions. In this case here, we may say, number 5, you're going to sleep better. By taking this pill, your life is going to be better because you're going to be able to sleep better. Number 6, to be superior, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. What if I told you everybody's taking this pill? That's keeping up with the Joneses, number 6. Number 7, care and protection of loved ones. This is an easy one. So if I said to you, don't you want to be around longer for your kids? This is a really deep one here too. So this has to do more with the care and protection of loved ones. Number 8, social approval. Listen, you take this pill, you have no idea how many friends you're going to make. This is an example of the Life Force 8. And by showing you these examples, well, you'll definitely get a better idea of how to use them for your next campaign. So real quickly here, I want to talk about magnetic marketing. So what is it? In short, it's basically an internet marketer who uses the internet to help attract people to the business they're in. It can be defined as bringing them to you rather than you going after them. So bringing them in because they're already interested is key. Mastering this method can help your business grow a lot quicker. I'm going to end it here with 3 powerful secrets to magnetic marketing. And number 1 is, what's in it for me? It's the one thing your customer wants to know and most important to them. So let me give you an example. You have a dentist practice with state-of-the-art equipment. You've got the friendliest staff in the business on your block. You've got awards, certificates all over the wall that make you more than qualified, but that's not enough. You see, your customer doesn't care about those things. They want to know what's in it for them. You're selling confidence. You're selling a winning smile. So your message at the dentist should be, or your dentist office should be, the life-changing $1,000,000 smile that comes from this experience. So your marketing really focuses on your income producing, relationship enhancing, life-changing benefits of having a $1,000,000 smile. You see how that just changed everything up? So, because nobody cares about the other things. Again, think about it. What's in it for me? Number 2, outcomes. Marketing is all about the outcome. When people ask, what do? Don't give them the typical answer of most people. So if you're a dentist and people ask what you do, don't say, I'm a dentist. Say, I give people the confidence they need with a winning smile. Isn't that more appealing than the other? And don't forget number 3, call to action. You see, there are rules to constructing your magnetic marketing message. You have to tell people what to do and how they should do it. So if you don't direct the customer and you've made the great offer with a price and a guarantee with results and presented it in a compelling way, the customer may already want to give you their business, but without a clear call to action, you've wasted all that time. So these are some great things to internalize, to take in, to learn with good copy, and hopefully that will help out your business even more when writing or working on your new campaign. Let's talk about the art of copyright. Well, first off, if you're not familiar with the term, it may be not what you think it is. In fact, it has nothing to do with the sense of copyright law, but more to do with the influence of words. With copyright, our goal is to lead the audience somewhere. There has to be a pathway that guides them. So when people come to your website and they're not buying, there's a good chance something's missing. That something could be good copy, which in turn will get them to buy. Your headline is important. It's super important. In fact, it's the first thing they usually see. It's at the top. And 8 out of 10 people will read your headline. And only 2 out of 10 will read the rest of your content. If the headline doesn't address the problem right away, your odds of someone finishing the rest of your copy is slim. You need to address the problem. The length of your copy is irrelevant. So short or long, the most important thing is, do you address the concerns people have? If you do, you're on the right path. Remember, a great headline will get them to read the next line. So consider the different types of people visiting your site. You have some people doing research about a topic. Some people may be the eager buying type, and some people may be relying on certain information for someone else. It just depends who's actually approaching your site. But always consider copy for different types of people. You see, the ability to turn words into gold is probably the most important aspect of any marketer. If you can do this, not only will you get someone to buy anything, but people may want to use your skills for their gain. And that means you'll always be working. A copywriter gets a person to think, feel, take action. Your main job as a copywriter is to influence, so find angles that resonate. Draw a connection between the product and the experience it evokes. If I tell you about a car and how fast it is and the powerhouse engine that it has, it's not that exciting. And it wouldn't be as exciting as, here's the car that drives your problems away. Here's the car that drives you to success. You could see how making that connection changes everything. Your writing is no different. Make great copy and it will always convert. Make great copy and you'll always have a job. All right, so real quickly I want to talk about SEO. And that's short for search engine optimization. It's the process of search engines like Google ranking your site. Now, it's always changing, so you always have to keep up with it. And just like anything else, you always have to do extra research or extra things to make sure that you stay on top of things. Lots of companies promise to get you on the first page of a search, but what you can do today to improve your SEO on your own for your own business are some things that kind of like help improve it. But before I mention what will help, let's quickly mention what you don't want to do. So you don't want to post your links on irrelevant websites, forums, or blogs, as this may be considered, consider a no-follow link. They will be considered then a low-quality link. That'll do anything but good for your SEO. Remember, content is king, and you'll hear that. Content is king. So if you hear that more and more, reason being, you'll get further in the game, but it's true. Quality content is the best way to influence page ranking. So besides content, branding will further your goal in ranking. It's the way you promote your blog, website, or content on the web in gaining more audience attraction. If your audience likes what they see, they'll share it with their friends. And Google will recognize it and give search results based on queries related to your niche. So all that hard work that you do with your Facebook page or your website, and you're creating good quality content and it's shared, Google will recognize that and show it to other people in search results. So work hard on your SEO and it will work hard for you. All right, so let's talk about Instagram. Instagram is one of the biggest and most important social networks for any internet marketer to consider. Right now, Instagram has over 1 billion active users, so that accounts for 60% of all adults using the internet, as well as 25 million businesses. This is a gigantic audience and one that's constantly growing. Whereas Facebook is still big, but it seems to have been slowing down over the past few years, and that's probably because of the high-profile scandals. But one of the biggest reasons that marketers overlook the importance of Instagram is they just assume it's less flexible due to its purely visual nature. But how can you sell something with just a picture? Well, you can. In fact, the opposite is true. So Instagram's visual nature is what makes it so valuable. Due to this fact, Instagram allows creators to minimize the amount of work and time they put into projects. It takes only a matter of minutes in some cases to snap a great photo. A few more if you're going to edit, as opposed to the large amount of time it takes to compose a message or think of something witty to say. You can easily take large batches of photographs and then upload them on a schedule, or even use stock images and just add some kind of inspiring quote on top. The point is that the amount of time and effort you invest into your account is relatively low, considering the amount of value you'll get out of it. It has great ROI. And there are other unique advantages to choosing Instagram over another platform too. We'll get more into that in a moment, but choosing Instagram over other options will give you a platform that you can build a huge amount of engagement and turn your followers into real fans who are willing to buy the items you recommend, or just keep coming back to your site time and time again. Instagram is a tool that will allow you to build brand awareness and brand loyalty in a manner that other channels just can't match. Instagram should be considered an absolute focus for any marketing strategy then, but it becomes even more powerful when you combine it with a general marketing plan that incorporates other platforms and forms of media. In short, Instagram could be the missing piece of the puzzle for your online marketing strategy. If you have already conquered Facebook and Twitter, then Instagram may be, the final frontier. Alternatively, many companies that have struggled to make a success of marketing on other platforms may find that Instagram is the place where they have runway success. And there are many factors that make this more likely. So how do you maximize the potential of Instagram as a marketing tool? Well, first you need to know your audience. So while Instagram's visual nature is in some ways one of the biggest advantages, this also changes the game for creators. That's because it will force them to think in a different way and to change their approach. It also affects who will be the most engaged by this type of content and which types of products it will lend itself to. So when it comes to niches, It should be no surprise to learn that the top niches on Instagram: health and fitness, beauty, travel, fashion, luxury, lifestyle, gaming, food. These are just some of them. So you could tell by the niches, it makes it very clear that there is a certain value to what people are putting out there when they are putting out their images as a marketer. And some of these people aren't even marketers. They're just people putting out images. With the huge followings that they actually have, I'm surprised most of them aren't affiliates based on that. So with Instagram, what you're trying to do is keep people inspired, ultimately motivate them to make a purchase, identify your niche, and then ask how you can communicate your value proposition in a manner that will appeal to your target demographic within the larger audience of Instagram. You do have to establish what kind of account you want, so you can go with a personal or business. A personal account is useful if you plan on building a personal brand. In other words, if you have a personal blog where you write about fitness and occasionally sell affiliate products, then you can go ahead and create a personal account to begin with. But in truth, a business account will make more sense in the vast number of cases, and even if you create a personal brand, you will likely switch to a business account at some point. That's because it will give you more access to more controls and features that will help you grow your account. So basically, you're able to get stats, metrics from your users, as well as using the promoted post option. That's if you turn it into a business account. You will be given the opportunity to pick a category for your business and choose your business name and number. And you can also connect it to a Facebook page. To gain more traction on your channel, once you have your account, you need to start growing it. You'll begin with your first post, and from there, the most important thing is consistency. If you go 2 weeks without posting a single thing to your Instagram, then any momentum that you built up already will get lost. You'll find that your posts don't show so highly and that you'll lose subscribers you had previously gained. So how often you post is going to depend on your goals, the nature of the content, and more. But the basic rule for this is to post frequently. The ideal, maybe 1 to 3 times daily, and the average for most businesses is usually about 1 time daily. So there's a few different tricks that can help you ensure that your Instagram account isn't just a great one, but one that grows organically. So what can you do? Well, you can consider mentioning businesses and users in your descriptions. You can do that as simply as using an @ symbol in your post and typing the name out. If you trained at a particular gym, then mention the Instagram account of that gym. If you went to a particular commercial location, then mention that business too. This will potentially lead to a repost or a shout out, either of which can be hugely beneficial. It also has the benefit of creating an association between you and that brand in the eyes of your followers and visitors. You also have the ability to tag people. And this is a great way to get their attention, and it will even show up on high profile pages. So your photo will appear in a separate category on the user's page. This is ideal if you want to get the attention of a big channel or brand along with their audience, but it can also be extremely annoying and get you into trouble if you abuse it. So the best advice then is only do this if you have good reason. If you actually have a photo with that person, then make sure you tag them in it. Meeting influencers face to face has gigantic value for any brand or marketer. Likewise, if you want to issue a challenge, a response, or similar, then consider using the tag, but only after you have considered the spirit that it will be taken in, and only rarely. So these are just a couple options, the tagging and the mentions. You can use the filters. The filters are a great option with Instagram, and it sets them apart from other platforms. With hashtags, these are great search terms, basically, that how they will find your content and quickly define what your page is actually about. Be sure not to use too many hashtags because sometimes it looks a little spammy. So when it comes to placement of hashtags, does that make a difference? Well, it could. So the next time you put a hashtag in, maybe place the hashtag in the first comment as opposed to the caption. It's less abrasive, better visually. Instagram will still register that hashtag and recognize it. But keep in mind that your goal is to use the hashtags for growth. So make sure they are relevant to what the picture is, video, whatever that may be. Mix your hashtags up if you're using the same hashtags every time, it may not be in your favor. You'll grow a lot quicker following, just kind of mixing it up a little bit. Instagram will limit your reach if you keep using the same hashtags. So lastly, though, when using a hashtag, a trending hashtag may be a good way to build quick, so pay close attention to trends. Maybe it's something that's being talked about at the moment, a buzzword, if you will. You're allowed to use up to 30, but I would be careful in using too many. I would definitely focus on less than 30, but you may want to do that in the beginning just to get some reach out there. As far as your bio, keep it simple, keep it clean, don't flood with too many emojis or text. Be sure to go live every once in a while. You can try giving shout outs from people in your same industry organically, and that means they know you've been following them and you've been commenting on their page. It will increase your odds of being seen. Make sure your comments are relevant to pictures or videos, people's posts. It'll look spammy if you're using software and it doesn't relate to the post and it adds things that aren't related. So these are things that really will help out your Instagram account. Be sure to do videos every once in a while because pictures, they're great, but videos get a lot of interaction as well. Instagram stories, these are posts that aren't shown in the feed, but will appear at the top of the page next to the profile picture. Stories will be shown for up to 15 seconds before moving on to the next one. They can't be saved unless the user uses a screen capture, and they will only last 24 hours before they stop being available. These are all great things to promote your business as a marketer. So hopefully some of these tips and tricks will help you out in building your Instagram today. All right, so right now I'd like to tell you a little bit about a Facebook fan page, otherwise known as also a Facebook business page. These really are the same thing. But this is how you will create more leverage within your business. You should always have a Facebook page and a Facebook group and try to make them congruent. It's how you will build relationships with your fans. I say fans, but your fan page, again, like I said, is still considered even a business page as well. So I want to give you a few important things to consider when you're building your page. One of the most important things is the name itself. So with knowing a little bit more about SEO, your search engine optimization on Facebook can really help out your business because Facebook has their own built-in SEO as well. Let's start with the word. So again, search engine optimization, this means that you're going to do all the necessary things to get the most reach with your site or page. It could be as simple as starting with a good name. So the goal is to rank. So when you're putting together a Facebook business page, be conscious of keywords. If you're a chef, you may want to use words related to your niche, like Jim, the pastry chef, or Kathy's cuisine. The real key is keeping it short and simple. Using too many words may look too spammy for those reading it, and it may actually do the opposite and hurt your growth. So when it comes to using keywords, try to keep it simple. Optimizing your Facebook business page, you want to share captivating content. Don't share just anything. Think about the engagement that follows. Avoid using your personal page for this. When I say personal, like when you first set up your Facebook page, don't get the two mixed up. I see a lot of people use their personal page and their business page, and they go back and forth with writing things, when in fact, use your personal page for personal things. Nobody needs to see, the trip that you went on or your nephew's. You're building a brand. So have a logo, have a mission statement, have a website that they can follow you from or follow you to. Have pictures and video related to what you're promoting. Make sure you're using the descriptive fields to add keywords to videos, pictures, or events. That little extra time you spend can mean the difference in ranking. So Facebook pages, a lot of people don't know this, but they are indexed by Google. And this just means that there's even a chance you could show up in a Google search. This is a big deal. And it's important to note that if you put up a picture that advertises your business, it's still a picture. You see, even if you're advertising a business card, it's still a picture. The keywords that you're using need to be put in. So I mean text, keywords. Otherwise, there's no way that it will work in your favor. Describe what it is in the picture to make sure that your reach doesn't suffer. So Facebook allows you to use something called Notes, and this is only available on a business page. This feature is used to inform fans. Again, this is indexed by Google, so it would be a great way to take advantage of the search engines using keywords in your content. The feel is kind of like a blog if you're using Notes. But to get to Notes, go to the tab to the left side, and if it doesn't exist on the left side, you'll have to put it there. And to get there, you have to go to Settings. Go to the tab that says Templates and Tabs, scroll down to hit Add to Tab, and you should see Notes there. Click on Add Tab. Now you should see it on the far left side of your main page. Again, there's probably videos you can find on YouTube if you do get lost. So I want to quickly mention as well, take advantage of Facebook's recommendations part. Someone may be looking for what you're offering. Head on over to the search bar. There is SEO in this. As it comes back to keywords, Facebook recognizes. So let's say someone's looking for a photographer. You could write in the search bar, does anyone know a photographer? And just like that, watch what comes up. In the same token, Facebook has the recommended tab you can click on, and you will see what people are looking for as well. So what's the best way to optimize your Facebook reach and engagement? I'm going to give you 3 quick ways before we get into Facebook groups. Number 1, great content. Again, this is a no-brainer, but as an affiliate, you've got to quit selling them and give them value. Keep them on your page by asking questions. Keep them engaged. Keep them on your page with new content on a daily basis. Number 2, using images. Chances are people are more likely to click because of an image. So make sure the image is relevant and easy to see. Avoid anything too busy. And the last thing, pay attention to the Facebook tabs. See, the tips that Facebook sends you to build your page are all helpful. And be aware of the notifications. Answer your inbox with questions. Create the hour story to tell people about your business, etc. There are many things that you can do to build your Facebook business page today. And we're going to talk about groups next. All right, so I saved the best for last, and that being Facebook groups, because they are so powerful. I built a group of over 10,000 people in a short amount of time. And it's not to say that Facebook pages aren't good as well, but Facebook groups have changed over the years. And if you think about it, there's over 1 billion people that are using groups every day. And many of those people, they describe groups as being the most important part of their Facebook experience. So Facebook wants you to stay on their platform and have a great experience. And you could be approaching this in a pretty sly way without even paying a dime for ads. And Facebook groups, there lies this ability to engage directly with your followers, fans, and customers. It doesn't get any more powerful than that. And while groups operate similar to a Facebook page, the posts in a Facebook group are only seen by those in your group. A Facebook page post can be seen by non-followers as it gets liked and shared. So the Facebook group, they won't give you the feature that a Facebook page will give you, like promoting a post, but it's okay because the benefits are so big in having a group. Your goal is to create a core group of people that will be your potential customers. They will be your people time and time again. They'll listen to what you have to say, and they'll potentially buy it if it benefits them. This is creating your own tribe, if you will, and in some cases it acts as sort of an insiders club, which in turn can gain you a lot of loyalty and enthusiasm. They have the opportunity to talk with you directly. That opportunity doesn't always exist with other people promoting programs or products. You're not a faceless organization. You're not just a logo or just a useful product. You're a real person, a real brand. The customer in turn then can turn into part of your tribe. They'll get behind your message, and they could become truly invested in what you do. So think about a huge company like Apple. They are an electronics manufacturer, but really more than that. With so much brand loyalty everywhere in the world, people get excited when they come out with a new product. People even wait in long lines to get the latest and greatest. Apple has a customer base that rallies behind whatever they make. And that's because The people are such a big part of that message, aka the tribe. So you can use a membership angle when using a Facebook group. And what I mean by that is when selling a product to someone or signing up for something, imagine telling them they'll have an exclusive invitation to your Facebook group. This is where they will get regular content that is only exclusive to members that sign up or purchase something. This is a big deal, and it could encourage someone in making a decision and in turn getting them to take action. Maybe even mention by being part of the group, they will have access to exclusive products they wouldn't have gotten without this as a bonus. The membership angle works, but be careful, as the whole idea of social media is to keep it fun, interesting, and not too salesy. You don't want to turn people off that come to your site and they get bombarded with too many products, so choose your words wisely. But if you're selling something and you have them at your website, again, this is a great way to say, hey, you bought the product, we'd love for you to be part of the group. Do the membership angle. So if you're going to set up a group, the first thing you want to think about, SEO, I talked about this before, even with Facebook pages. It's pretty straightforward. You just go to Explore Groups on your home page, create the group by clicking on Create Group. You enter the name, and again, think in terms of SEO. If you can, try to keep the same name that you used for your Facebook page or similar to your Facebook group. Let's say you want to create a Facebook group about dog lovers. Should you create a Facebook group called Dog Lovers, or should you create one called Poodle Lovers? The answer should be in the latter, because by having a much more precise and specific niche for your group, you'll be able to cater precisely to that audience. There are hundreds of groups about dog lovers, but maybe only a few for poodle lovers, right? Being more specific will attract the target audience you intend to build around. You will have to add at least one person when you first create the group. Make sure the profile picture reflects your brand. It may be someone's first impression, so make sure it stands out. Think about the person you want to attract. Now, as for privacy settings, this will depend very much on the type of group you are trying to create and what you're hoping to accomplish. But there's three. There's public, closed, and secret. My suggestion in the beginning, just make it public. You want to get as many people in there as possible. Public just means that anybody can find your group, anybody can see things you posted. Closed, anyone can see the group and who created it, but only members will be able to see the content that gets posted. And secret, well, those are only members. Only members will be able to discover the group at all. So again, these are just options you have in building your group. Your cover photo, make sure that the picture that you use doesn't look too salesy. If you send the wrong message, people may not join. A group is all about, again, having a conversation. So if your niche is golf, don't put pictures related in a way that looks like you're an e-commerce store. Put pictures of people golfing, having a great time, enjoying themselves. Selling will be from your Facebook page. You can grab your cover photo from a royalty-free site like Pixabay. On the inside, you've got Facebook group tools. There's a lot of things that it will allow you to do. So on the inside, and to get there, you just go to the top right tab, scroll down to Manage Groups. On the left side, you should see your group under Groups You Manage tab, and head over to More. This is where you're going to be able to edit things. You can edit things as in group type. You'll be able to edit the name of your group. You may want to change the name of your group. Maybe you want to, create something customized on the inside there. There's many things you can do, and it's very user-friendly to work with. Your web address, this is not the address of your website, but you can actually customize the URL that you've got for your group. This will help you further strengthen your brand, make it easier for people to find your group without necessarily going through the Facebook app. You should make this easy to remember and simple. The good news is that you can change this at any time until your group exceeds 5,000 members. As far as approving people, you can approve people manually, or you can have it on autopilot. I suggest doing it manually so you can kind of see who's coming into your group, and you can post things as in questions they'll have to answer before they even enter the group. The reason why I like manual and the reason why I like customizing questions for people coming in is so A, I can see who's coming in, and B, how they're answering the question. Because these may be potential people that you could sell to in the near future just by how they answer the questions. So growing your group, yes, this can be a challenge if you're starting up from the ground up. I mean, if you think about it, even Facebook had their own challenges when MySpace existed. You have to be patient, but more importantly, have a plan. If you start inviting a bunch of your friends, it's a start, but keep in mind, are they interested in what your group is? If they join something they're not interested in, they won't be engaging. And Facebook recognizes engagement, so the more engagement, the more you will turn up on the suggested column. And you usually will see that on the right-hand side. If you are creating YouTube videos related to your niche, be sure to put your Facebook group link in the description. You could even mention in your video, for more great tips and tricks, visit our Facebook group today. The link is in the description box. You could blog and you could have that link available as well to your Facebook. And you could tell them, hey, be part of the community today, and they could click there, right on the icon. The hardest part, creating momentum, but it's not impossible. Once you figure out where your traffic is coming from, this is important. Once you figure out where your traffic is coming from, then you can rinse and repeat. So if it's YouTube, keep making videos. If it's blogs, keep making blogs. Engage in other groups. And when I say engage in other groups, don't disrupt the groups. Find groups that are similar to yours and engage in conversation. Don't just try to get them to come over to your group. You start answering questions, then you start having a conversation, and pretty soon they're going to add you as a friend. Oh, by the way, I've got this group. You should come check it out. You want to connect with those people and those other groups. So that's another way that you can actually gain more ground with your Facebook group. Now, if you're connecting your Facebook group and your Facebook page, again, I've talked about this already. They're a little bit different. If you want to shop your products around, I would suggest using your Facebook page, not so much your Facebook group. However, maybe with your Facebook group every once in a while, you give out a handful of value content, and then you might subtly put something in there. But the Facebook page is really great for promoting content as well as products. So I don't want that to come across the wrong way there. But what happens is you can link your Facebook page to your group page. There's a way you can do that as well. You can use Facebook groups as a sales funnel. So the idea of a sales funnel is basically to entice people into your business and then to gradually increase engagement and investment until they're ready to buy the big ticket items. This normally starts with free content and eventually will develop into smaller purchases and commitments. The mistake that a lot of businesses make is essentially to try to sell their products cold. Imagine that you are a relatively little-known expert on a particular topic and you decide that you want to sell tickets to a talk you're going to do for $1,000 each. If you were to advertise in Facebook ads, try to sell the link, how many people do you think would sign up? Probably none. Why? Because they don't know who you are. Because those people are not going to want to spend all that money on a completely unknown someone. So even with amazing advertising and an amazing product, it'd be hard to get conversions here. So just knowing that, and I'm telling you this in advance, that don't get involved in paid ads unless you know about doing paid ads. Really try to work on the inside and the organic in the beginning to develop a following. With the content, as I said, and I've mentioned it many, many times before, with great content will come a great following. People will tell their friends, oh, by the way, this group, you've got to check them out. They've got some great stuff here. Now, if you're not sure where to find content and you're really kind of at a loss, you can go to a site called BuzzSumo, and the site will allow you to see the most shared content on the web in particular niches, which you can use then in order to find content you know will perform well. So this is a technique that I use, and it's very helpful to use for pages, of course, as well. Schedule your post. If you know that you are not going to do it consistently, maybe you want to schedule them so they can go off at a certain point. So that will make it easier for you as far as posting, because you definitely want to post still on a regular basis. You could pin your post. Maybe you have something important that when they come to your Facebook group page, they can see it at the top. So that's your mission statement or a message that you want visitors to see, but make sure that you pin it to the top of your group post. They'll see it, and it will be a representation of what your group is about, maybe, or what you expect. It doesn't have to be real long, but there should be a message there. And running ads, again, you can't run ads on a Facebook group, but you could for a Facebook page. So what you might want to do, and then maybe this could be down the road, is you could actually run an ad for your Facebook group on your Facebook page. Again, this is when you get to this point, but at this point, you're building, so you really want to focus on how to get more followers to your group. There's a lot of things you could do for engagement, but remember your end goal is to eventually have it run itself. Once you have enough members and they're frequently posting to your group, you can kind of step back a little bit and let it manage itself. And by doing this, the content that's becoming engaged with, Facebook will recognize it and will recommend it to other people. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a checklist here, and this is going to help you out in building. And these are just a few things that have worked for me. Be sure to welcome people on a regular basis. And these are people that are joining. Maybe you could do it once a week. You could welcome people. Make a post acknowledging one of your members for something. Maybe a quick thank you. You could add questions for those wanting to join the group. It's a quick way to collect some data. So again, this is part of your checklist, but maybe you want to know things like how did they find the group? Or what do they need the most help in? So adding questions. When posting, take advantage of the lives. Your Facebook Lives let everybody know that whatever's happening is in real time. So basically they alert people when you're doing the live a lot quicker than just making a post. They may get the post later, but a live it happens in real time. You can run a poll. Run a poll every once in a while just to get your audience engaged. Be sure to create content on a regular basis, I'd say at least 3 times a week. And last, I'd say ask the questions like, what's your biggest struggle? How did you make your first sale? Get people engaged and having a conversation. By asking the question, you keep the conversation going. This is how you build a good, strong Facebook group.